Hey guys, Adam here with AmericanMuscle.com, and today we're taking a quick look at installing and dyno testing the Diablo Sport Trinity 2 Platinum Tuner, available for the 09-14 5.7 liter Hemi Challengers. Now before we jump into all the details of the tuner itself, we want to first and foremost take a look at the dyno results. So what do you say we head over to the graph to take a look? All right, so we strapped our 2013 5.7 liter RT Challenger down to the dyno. It's completely bone stock. We ran it to establish a baseline run with our 6-speed transmission in 4th gear, which is closest to the 1-to-1 ratio. We walked away with 346 horsepower and 377 pound-feet of torque at the rear wheels. We then uploaded our Diablo Sport 93 octane tune using our Trinity 2 tuner, and we ran it again under the same conditions in the same gear and walked away with 354 horsepower, 383 pound-feet of torque at the rear wheels. That's good for peak gains of 8 horsepower and 6 torque at the rear. Now under the curve, we're picking up at right around 5.2 thousand RPMs, 10 horsepower under the curve, and up to 10 torque under the curve. Now, those numbers are a little bit better than the peak gains, but guys, keep in mind here that you're also picking up an extremely big increase in throttle response and acceleration. It's modifying things like spark and timing, among other parameters there, to just really optimize your vehicle's performance. As you can see, we're picking up these gains toward the higher end of the RPM band there, so you're holding the power a little bit longer than you were from the factory, and again, at the lower end, you get a better throttle response. So overall, exactly what we expect from the preloaded tunes coming on the Trinity 2. With that out of the way, guys, of course, you just saw this pick up some horsepower and torque at the rear wheels. The curve gains looking a little bit better, but there's a lot more to this tuner aside from just pure gains. Now, if you're checking out the Trinity 2 Platinum from Diablo Sport, you're probably in the market for something that goes a little bit beyond just a simple handheld tuner. This here is a completely touchscreen display that mounts to your windshield, so you can easily track so many parameters of your vehicle on the fly every day. Now, if you're not so much interested in tracking your gauges live on display, then you might not be interested in something like this. It's a little bit more of a premium option, in which case I'd point you to maybe the Diablo Sport i2 InTune tuner. Now, this guy here is something that is going to display a number of parameters on the screen at the same time. So aside from giving you the tunes, which by the way include a Diablo tune, they're 93 octane, a 91 octane preloaded tune, and a colder intake option, along with a modified stock tune if you're looking to keep it sort of similar to OEM. So there's a number of tuning options. Aside from that, the gauges and data logging screen is what you're probably going to be taking a look at. Now, the gauges and data logging screen gives you 23 different gauge display options, and within that, there's dozens upon dozens of different parameters you can track. Things like air-fuel ratio, battery voltage, your speedometer, and of course your tachometer are also built into that, along with a number of other really important parameters, the engine parameters in particular, that you might want to track on a daily basis. Now, you can have up to 3 different display options you can easily swipe between, but then you can go a little bit deeper and dive into the further customization that the Trinity 2 offers. So if you're looking for one of those tuners that has an all-in display that you can track every day, this is going to be one of the better options to go with. Aside from that, you can also do some data logging. If you're looking to run a stock tune and then compare it to an aftermarket tune, and then from there dive in deeper into what you can possibly modify, the data logging option is going to be the way to go. You can record your runs, take a look at the after log or the data log, and then modify it from there. Now, that's going to be specifically useful if you're working directly with a custom tuner. Now, this is a preloaded tuner out of the box. Like I said, it comes with all of those preloaded tune options, the Diablo Tune 91 and so forth. But if you're working with a custom tuner, this can hold up to 5 individual custom tunes if you're working with a vendor of your choice. Within that, that's probably where you'll take advantage of the data logging the most. You can work directly with them and make revisions and updates to your custom tune on the fly with this device instead of picking up a separate data logging device. Aside from that, you also have performance testing. That's not something a lot of other tuners offer. Performance testing allows you to track your 0 to 60, 0 to 100, quarter-mile times, and your eighth-mile times if you're looking to dive in deep at the track. Now, not every Challenger owner out there has taken their vehicle to the track. A lot of you guys are daily drivers, but if you're looking to take it a step further from what other handheld tuners have to offer, this is going to be a great way to go. Aside from that, you have simple built-in options like your DTC code reader or diagnostic trouble codes, otherwise your check engine light. So if your check engine light comes on, plug this guy in, no need for a separate OBD2 code reader. It'll give you your code, give you a description, and you can clear it right from there to turn the check engine light off on your dashboard very easily with this touchscreen. Now the touchscreen is another thing I want to mention. So a lot of other tuners use individual buttons, sort of like your throwback Nokia phone, right? That's not the display that you want nowadays. You want something a lot more modern, a lot more sleek, that's going to fit in your interior. This is going to be the one for you. It's a pretty wide LCD display, full color, full touchscreen, no physical buttons at all, but it easily responds to your swipes up and down. It drags down from the top like you would with your iPhone or your smartphone, and you can swipe up from the bottom to see a very brief home screen. So there's a lot of really cool built-in features here to make it a lot more modern than some other options. Now the price tag for this guy is going to come in right around 650 bucks. It's a bit more premium than others, but for all the reasons I just mentioned. Install, I'm going to give 1 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter. It's a very simple plug and play, and of course it comes with a windshield mount to slot into the 2 open slots on the back, so you can easily mount it within arm's reach, out of the way of your line of sight, but easy enough for you to read on a daily basis. Now the install is going to take you about 30 minutes, depending on your experience with tuners. It is very easy to follow the process. It may require some updates right out of the box, which you can plug right into your laptop, and it can even update via Wi-Fi. With that said, I'm going to walk you through the whole process. Let's get started. The first step for the install here is to grab the OBD2 cable included in the kit, head under the driver's side dashboard. It's sort of right here in the middle, but a little bit deeper in. You want to plug this guy in, and then bring it up and plug it into your device. Now on the back of your device, you can plug in the other end of the OBD2 cable, which is HDMI. And then there is a windshield mount included in the kit here. I'd recommend just mounting that. Slides right in, and you can lock that down, and now we can mount this on the windshield. All right, now just so you guys can see this a little better, I'm going to be mounting this a little bit more directly above the steering wheel. I'd recommend putting it off to the left a little bit just so it's out of your line of sight for the road, for safety reasons of course, but mount that guy and you can drop down the locking tab there and it'll suction cup to the windshield. Next up, you want to put your ignition in the run position, but don't actually start your engine. First thing I want to do is show you guys how to tune your vehicle. Then we'll jump into talking through all the other features of the device. Select tuning first from the home page. Home page obviously has 6 options, tuning is top left. All right, at this point, you'll possibly need to check for updates depending on how new your device is. We have already updated ours. If you haven't done so already, you can click check for updates. It'll ask you to connect to a Wi-Fi network or something that you have at your house, so you want to take care of that. We're gonna hit skip because we've already updated ours. Once you have it updated, it'll take you to your tuning menu. You have 3 options: Tune Vehicle, Quick Adjust, and Custom Tuning. Now, Tune Vehicle is gonna tune to the preloaded tune options. You'll have the 87, 93 octane options. Quick Adjust is just simple things like tire size, gear ratio, just simple adjustments you may wanna make. Custom tuning is a custom tune you have sent to you from a tuning vendor. That's something you'll do separately if you're working with a custom tuner. We're just going with the Tune Vehicle option because I want to show you guys those preloaded tunes that it comes with. Of course, you have a bunch of options here. Modify Stock Tune is something you can go off of just the stock ECU, modify a couple of parameters if you know what you're looking for. Jammer cold air intake tune is something for a aftermarket cold air intake tune, of course. 91 octane is if you're running that 91 octane gas, and Diablo tune is the highest performance for 93 octane. We're running the 93 octane. I want to show you guys the best tune possible on the device, so I'm going to select Diablo tune. Press continue to read your vehicle's factory or stock tune. All right, it can take up to 30 minutes for the entire process, especially if it's your first time. It is going to save the stock file to the device. You can revert back to stock at any point. So now it's directing us to turn the ignition off and press the screen to continue. And cycle back onto the run mode. So you want to go past accessory all the way to run and then press the screen. All right, so now it's asking us if we'd like to install the tune as is, or if we'd like to customize the tune by modifying adjustable parameters like tire size, gear ratio, things like that. We do not need to adjust anything. We're running a completely bone stock Challenger here, so we're just gonna hit install. But if you wanted to customize some of those parameters, you can hit customize there and then install afterwards. That's up to you, but we're going right away with the Diablo tune, and I'm gonna hit accept and install. All right, so again, cycle the ignition off, press the screen, and then back into run and press the screen again. One more time. All right, so there you have it. Vehicle has been successfully tuned. You can press continue and you're good to go. From here, I want to show you guys some of the other options, some of the other features of the Trinity 2 here from Diablo Sport. The first thing I want to go right to is underneath tuning. It's the gauges and logging menu. Now that's going to give you what most people will be using throughout the majority of their time with the Trinity 2. If you're picking up this device with the touchscreen, you're probably more focused on some of the gauges and data logging. The gauges are going to allow you to track engine parameters and features on the fly in arm's reach throughout your driving experience. So right from the main menu, there are some demo options here where it shows you guys how to use it. You can swipe down from the top to view any customizations you might want to make to the gauges. You can swipe from the bottom of the screen to access navigation menus, and go left to right, of course, if you're looking to change the actual gauge layout. So we're going to hit continue. This is layout number 1 here. We have a number of parameters on the screen at once. We have speed, we have RPMs, we have a lot of parameters. And again, you can swipe from side to side to change that up. So we have our tachometer on the left, we have our miles per hour on the right here, and in the center, we have a number of other parameters, not in gauge form, but just in a digital form. So we have battery voltage, fuel level, we have a number of options. Then of course, you can swipe down from the top to customize any of those guys. So if you want to edit the layout, you can click that. It's going to load your layout editor. And from here, you can actually select which screen you want to edit. So if we're going to edit the screen number 2, we can change some of the parameters there. 1, 2, 3, there's a number of other options. So you can see up to something like 15, 16 different options all at once on the screen in just little digital forms. You can see some of the off-road features if you're looking into that. There's 23 different customizable layouts in a number of different forms. So you have all of those to choose from. You can head back. Continue. And then again, all of those parameters are customizable. So from there, you can record all of this if you're looking to data log. And then of course you have the record button up there. So if you're looking to data log, all of those features are built into this particular screen. You can customize, there's hundreds of different ways you can view this. Again, with 23 different actual layouts, and inside of that, there's hundreds of different customizations you can make. This is another one where you can view all 16 at once. So there are 3 that you can quickly access, and from there customize which ones you want to see at any given time. Swipe up if you want to see a small version of the home page. So what we're going to do here is hit the home button in the bottom left, take us back just to make it easier for you guys to look at. Another option is performance tests. If you select this is something for guys who are primarily hitting the drag strip. If you're looking to gauge your 0 to 60 test, if you want to do a 0 to 100, you can track your quarter mile and your 1/8 mile test all through this. You can data log those as well. You can record them and stack them up side by side for a comparison. So that's really good if you're hitting the strip and you're looking to record those yourselves. Under that is diagnostics, another main one that a lot of people are going to be taking advantage of. If you have a check engine light that pops on, you can run diagnostics here. It'll not only read your CEL or check engine light, but it'll also give you the code itself and the description of the code, and then you can clear it from this menu if you're looking to just get rid of the check engine light altogether. So that's right here. Now obviously we don't have one on now, so nothing's going to be reading, but just to give you an idea of how that's found, that's from the main menu right in diagnostics. EAS settings are additional settings that you can add on separately. We're not going to jump into that just because that's not also included in the kit. Hopping into settings, you can see you have simple things like display settings, device colors. If you're not into the gray and red theme, you can change the wallpaper of the device itself to add a little bit of personalization, change audio settings. There is a brief beep every time you hit a button, so you can change that. If you're looking to connect to Wi-Fi easily, you can do that here. Email setup, check for updates, all of those kind of go hand in hand. You can wirelessly update this, but you need Wi-Fi, of course, to do that. You can change the unit of measurements, depending on your area, and all of these other customizable parameters. You can do alert settings if you're looking to set up alerts. If your certain parameters reach a peak, it can alert you of that as well. Vehicle weight, tire size, very simple parameters you can adjust just as a base setting within the device itself. And then of course hit exit and you're back to the main menu, and that's your device. That's going to wrap up my review and install for the Diablo Sport Trinity 2 Platinum Tuner, available for the 09 to 14 5.7 Hemi Challenger. Get yours right here at AmericanMuscle.com.